What's going on, everybody? Hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Now, before we go ahead and hop into the commentary, just want to let you guys know what you are watching in today's gameplay. And that is some Call of Duty World at War. Yes, I know. It's been a minute. It's actually been a while since I went ahead and put some old school Call of Duty gameplay over one of my commentaries, but I think it's time. I think it's time to bring one back. It's been a minute since, like I said, I played any classic Call of Duty game. I've been grinding the living crap out of Modern Warfare 2019, but I do believe it is time to show you guys what a true good Call of Duty game looks like once again. And as you guys know, it's such a pleasure. It's always a treat to come back and revisit these older titles. It really just feels good to come and play World at War. And you know, World at War is one of those games, like I always say, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, I always feel like they're just a lot more overrated than people expect. And I, to this day, think that if they were to remaster Black Ops 2 and remaster Modern Warfare 2, nobody would enjoy it like they used to. Me personally, like I said, I would enjoy it because it's just, a blast in the past. It'll be cool to see Modern Warfare 2 with upgraded graphics and stuff. But with the current Call of Duty community and the current people who are playing this game, they're more used to what Call of Duty is nowadays compared to what it was on like the last gen consoles. So it is definitely a big difference, but World at War has never changed. Like, I can come back to this game 1,000,001 times and it still plays the exact same way. Fast-paced, fun, action-packed, has tons of awesome moments, and it's all about gunplay. I wish Call of Duty would focus a video game around this main fact. I wish they would make a game that is about skill over cheese. It's been a minute since they actually went ahead and designed a game like that. It's all about the cheese nowadays, having overpowered weapons, overpowered abilities, overpowered attachments, overpowered perks, overpowered lethals. Like I said, it's all about the cheese, less about the skill. And even though World at War did have some cheese here and there, noob tubes and, jug and all this stuff, it's still more tolerable than a lot of the stuff that we have to deal with nowadays. But that's kind of off the point of what I want to talk about. Today's commentary is going to be about the Call of Duty community and how I'm going to predict that we're all going to hate Call of Duty 2020. Now, I don't want to come out so negative. I do want to try to stay a little positive for Call of Duty 2020. Just have a little, a little bit of hope, a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for this video game. I don't want to just completely throw it under the bus and just forget it was ever there. No, I want Call of Duty 2020 to succeed. But the Call of Duty community is a very picky community and a very hard community, to be exact, to please. And it seems like every single time we move on from a past Call of Duty game, we hate the current one, but we'll begin to love the past one. I remember Black Ops 4, and everybody in the world hated that game, including myself. I despised Black Ops 4. By the time that Modern Warfare was announced, I was ready. I think everybody was ready. All the YouTubers I know, all my YouTube buddies, 402 Thunder, and a lot of other top-tier YouTubers, we were ready. We were done with Black Ops 4, and we were at the point where we were saying, anything would get better than Black Ops 4. We just need a better title. And then Modern Warfare drops, and then everybody hates it. Everybody's complaining about it. Everybody says it's the worst video game that is ever made. And now people are actually revisiting Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and also Call of Duty World War II, and these games are becoming popular. It's almost like these games were made to be enjoyed the year after, instead of in their prime. It seems like every time that a game releases in its prime, the Call of Duty community always hates it and always nitpicks and always complains. And like I said, I'm guilty of this as well. I'm not calling anybody out. I do this all the time. I complained the living hell out of Black Ops 4. All I did was complain. Same thing with Modern Warfare 2019. All I did was complain, But then after these games move on, I guarantee you that when Call of Duty 2020 drops, I'm going to revisit Modern Warfare 2019. And a lot of people are probably going to revisit Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. And they will probably enjoy it. I'm not going to lie. There will probably be a tiny bit of fun in that game. But regardless if you enjoy Modern Warfare or not, I think at the end of the day, the main problem that we are running into here is that the current Call of Duty game, we always sweat our hardest. Whether you're sweating for KD, whether you're sweating for win-loss, whether you're sweating for your rank, whether you're sweating to unlock the master camo, whether you're sweating to do challenges, if you're a completionist and you're trying to do all the challenges in the game, there's always something that you want to do in the current Call of Duty game, which brings out anger, which brings out rage. If you want a good KD, you don't want to keep getting smacked. That's going to annoy you. If you want to get the new camo, you don't want to be sitting there for 2 years grinding the same challenge game after game after game. You want to get it done already. You want to finish that so you can get the camo already, All these things, all these factors add up to what I personally believe is why we all hate the current Call of Duty games every single year. Because hear me out. When the current game, when it's finally over, when the current year is finally done, and we revisit those Call of Duty games that are in the past, we're not playing those games to sweat. We're not playing those games to compete or to grind or to complete. We're playing those games to revisit what we did in the past. So when we're playing these games like Black Ops 4, World War II, any of the Jetpack Call of Duty games like you're seeing right here, Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty 4, the reason why we're not so angry at these games is because we're not trying as hard as we used to. You know, you don't see me trying to get different attachments in World at War. You don't see me trying to grind to max rank in World at War. You don't see these things. And on top of that, the skill-based matchmaking gets toned down just a little bit, not because the developers go into the game and tone it down, but because these sweaty players move on to the more current title. All the good YouTube players, all the amazing Twitch streamers, all these players, they have to play the current game to get the most views they possibly can. So if they revisit Call of Duty games, they're not going to be playing like me. You're not going to see me playing World at War every single day on this channel. It just simply wouldn't work well in my favor. But I'll revisit it. I'll come check it out every once in a while, maybe once a week. A couple of times. I mean, I play it at least 2 to 3 times every single week. I love World at War. Like I said, my favorite Call of Duty game ever made in the history of COD. But I'm not sweating it out. And the people who are playing this game right here with me, they're not sweating it out either. The people who are playing this game are doing the same thing that I'm doing. They just want to revisit an old experience. So that is personally why I think that every single Call of Duty game turns into a sweat fest and why we hate every single COD title that comes out. Now with Call of Duty 2020 dropping, like I said, I can almost guarantee it now. I can almost guarantee it. I just know for a fact that we're going to begin to hate it. It's going to be a honeymoon phase. There's always a honeymoon phase. The only Call of Duty game that I didn't get a honeymoon phase in was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. But every other game, it was always a honeymoon phase for at least a month, maybe a month and a half, maybe even 2 months. Who knows? Then after that time period, everything starts hitting. You start seeing all the cheese because that's the game that you're grinding. You grind this game every single day. You're trying to get camos. You're trying to get content. You're trying to get a good KD. You're grinding this game constantly. So when you're grinding this game constantly, the cheese starts coming out. You start seeing all the flaws that are in the game and they start to annoy you more because you deal with it on a day-to-day basis. Now, if you took a break from these games every once in a while and played them, maybe Modern Warfare, you played it once a week, it probably wouldn't annoy you as much as it does if you played it like 3 days a week or 4 days a week, if you just played it once a week. And I'll use Black Ops 4 as an example again. Like I always say, Black Ops 4, it annoyed the living hell out of me in its prime because, like I said, I played it every single day. Every single day to get content for YouTube. So things like 150 health pissed me off because I had to deal with people with 150 health all the time. I had to deal with people stacking their health on one top of each other and stacking players together to make it impossible to kill more than one person and they easily mow you down. I had to deal with that all the time. I had to deal with the specialist cheese all the time. I had to deal with the same map structure every single day. These things I had to deal with on a day-to-day basis, which annoyed the living crap out of me to the point where I was saying, screw Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 is an awful game. I hate Black Ops 4. I can't wait till Black Ops 4 is over. What is the next game going to be? And the same thing is happening with Modern Warfare right now. Screw Modern Warfare. Time to kill is way too fast. Weapons, no variety. Skill-based matchmaking is super thick. Horrible map design, which a lot of these things are true. All these things are valid reasons to hate Modern Warfare. I'm not saying they're not. But when this game is all done and over with and we move on to the next Call of Duty title and we start grinding Call of Duty 2020 every single day, the cheese is going to be exposed in that game. It's going to be exposed so bad to the point that we're going to look at Modern Warfare and say, that game wasn't even that bad. I guarantee it. Sometimes as a Call of Duty player, you just have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Like I said, it's very hard to do, especially when you're in the moment and you're a hardcore Call of Duty fan and you want to play the current Call of Duty game and you're grinding the current Call of Duty game every single day and you want something positive out of it. It's hard to take a step back and look at this video game from a different perspective. I understand, hating on Call of Duty, that's just like tradition. We do this every single year. I think a lot of us are just used to it. And it's funny at this point. I think a lot of us just do it for fun in a lot of cases. It's always something to complain about with Call of Duty. Always. It's never something not to complain with. Every single year, whether it's Call of Duty 4 with the triple frags, Call of Duty World at War with Jug, Modern Warfare 2 with one-man army noob tubes, and it's so much cheese. Black Ops 1 with the ghost perk, allowing anybody to camp with it. You don't even have to run around. It's so much cheese in all of these Call of Duty games. It's always going to be something that we're going to complain about. And, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. My channel is almost based around me complaining about Call of Duty. I have a blast complaining about it. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's funny to complain about Call of Duty and all the flaws and, pointing out all the errors in all of their Call of Duty games. I think it's pretty humorous. I enjoy it. But every once in a while, you have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Do we really hate Call of Duty like we say we do, or are we just trying too hard in these video games? Do we have too strong of a passion for Call of Duty, I guess you should say? Because like I said, these past Call of Duty games, none of them were perfect. Black Ops 2, people were complaining about Black Ops 2, the whole life cycle. Modern Warfare 2, people were complaining about that game, the whole life cycle. Just go back and look at past Call of Duty videos on YouTube. And I'm not talking about recent Call of Duty videos. I'm talking about when those games were in their prime. Check out YouTubers who made content on those. People were ranting like crazy. It was nothing positive about these video games. But now that we're, in the future and we have different titles to play and different titles to grind every single day, we look back at these older titles. And it's either nostalgia or just, the fact that we're not grinding as hard as we used to. Like I said, Call of Duty, the typical Call of Duty player's mindset is to hustle, is to grind. We want to grind the most current Call of Duty game. We want to put in the hours, put in the time, unlock the camos, unlock the ranks, unlock everything, higher KDs. That's just what we like to do as Call of Duty players. So I can't blame you for getting annoyed, but just every once in a while, like I said, don't stop hating on the game. I understand the flaws of every single Call of Duty game, and I understand why you hate it, but every once in a while, take a step back and look at the bigger picture and see if you can understand as well. And I hope this commentary can open your eyes too, just a little bit, and I hope you guys don't hate my perspective. Like I said, I do hate on Call of Duty a lot, but I just want to give a different perspective just so people can see something a little different out of the Call of Duty grind. But regardless, I really don't think that, Modern Warfare is a completely outstanding game, has tons of issues, but I'm just saying, every single year we do hate Call of Duty. Step aside from Modern Warfare, World War II, Black Ops 4, and probably Call of Duty 2020, it's going to be tons of things to complain about, tons of things that are going to be broken, tons of issues. It's not going to be a perfect Call of Duty game. But I think that later on, probably, it will become a better game once we revisit Call of Duty 2020 and Call of Duty 2021 comes out, and then Call of Duty 2020, 2 comes out. And as every year passes by, we'll look back at each Call of Duty game and understand what was good about them and appreciate them. But it's hard for us in the moment to appreciate it when we're grinding so hard and our passion for the current Call of Duty game is so strong to the point that we just get angry when these cheesy things happen all the time, But guys, I'm just going to end the commentary off there. Thank you guys for listening. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a dislike if you hated it. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. You can always do that if you want to see some more of my content. And if you want to chat with me, I'm over on Twitter, @JbowenDaMan. And if you want to catch me live stream, I do that over on Twitch, @JbowenDaMan. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.